Taiwanese are obsessed with tea. How's it going, everybody? Wes Davies here. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I wanted to do kind of a sequel, a part 2 to a video I filmed a couple of weeks ago where I talked about the strange and unusual things in Taiwan that perhaps foreigners might not be used to. I got a lot of comments and reactions and feedback to that video, particularly about some comments I made about the fact that Taiwanese people don't wear sunglasses. Taiwanese people don't really wear sunglasses. And a lot of Taiwanese people don't know how to swim. So why is it that in Taiwan, nobody seems to know how to swim? So I thought, you know what? I've actually got a lot more things I want to say on these topics. And today, we're gonna go through 4 or 5 more things that I and other foreigners tend to find atypical or slightly unusual here in Taiwan. So let's get going. So the first one I want to talk about today is similar to the sunglasses comment, in which Taiwanese people tend to not wear sunglasses on hot and sunny days, but what they will wear are huge jackets, arm coverings, leg coverings on a blistering hot 35 Celsius degree day. You will often look around and almost everybody all around you looks like they could be dressed for autumn or winter. So of course, thinking about this, I do understand that it has to do with kind of sun safety. You don't want to get extreme sunburns or suntans on your skin. Also, when you're driving in Taiwan on a scooter in particular, people tend to kick up a lot of dust and dirt and exhaust and smoke from all the driving that's going around you. You will even see people wearing full face coverings and surgical masks when they're driving. And I think these are things that we typically would never see in the West. Motorcycle culture in the West tends to gear towards looking very tough or cool. So those people riding bikes back home outside would never be caught dead wearing like huge face coverings, surgical masks, or full arm coverings. But in Taiwan, that's part of the culture, so that's what people do. And that reminds me, to do with this subject, there's another cultural phenomenon that I find very fascinating, which is that in Asia in particular, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, if you get a lot of sun and your skin gets darker, that tends to be a sign of poverty. Because in the olden days, the people that had to spend all their working life outside, you know, farming and tilling fields, they would get darker. And so you would know that that person is not necessarily a rich person. All the rich people could afford to stay inside and hire other people to work outside. Similar in the West, we kind of have the opposite mentality. If you have a lot of money in the West, then you can afford to go on vacation, spend a lot of time outdoors on the beach or hiking. So I thought that was very interesting, as it's just totally opposite. In Asia, being darker means you're not affluent, and in the West, being darker means you have that leisure time to go on vacation and get more sun. Another thing I find fascinating about living in these cities in Taiwan are the absolute density of certain types of stores. For example, we can just walk down any street, any corner in any part of the city, and chances are you will be able to see a 7-Eleven, Family Mart, High Life, OK Mart, the list goes on. Convenience stores are literally everywhere, and sometimes they're even right across the street from each other. So here is kind of what I'm talking about. There is one 7-Eleven, and then if we just walk, I don't know, 12 steps or so, we have this 7-Eleven. Why do we need 2 7-Elevens that close? And then actually, if you look just up there, there's an OK Mart as well. I guess it's because in Taiwan in particular, it's such a small island. There's so many millions of people here that everyone is kind of crammed into these cities together. So the way the cities are structured kind of enables a denser population base. Therefore, you can have as many convenience stores as you want because you have enough population to support it. Whereas in Canada, if you want to go to a convenience store, even in some of the bigger cities, you're gonna have to walk quite a long distance or even drive. And speaking of shops that are literally everywhere in every city and every town in Taiwan, can somebody please explain to me why there are so many tea shops everywhere? Some streets will literally have 3 or 4 tea shops all next to each other. It's crazy. And I do realize that every drink shop sells slightly different products, but I think it's just funny that usually when you go out with Taiwanese people, the first thing they will ask is, okay, are we gonna get some drinks? I mean, these are things that I think most foreigners don't usually think about. We might have a bottle of water or something, but we definitely won't go out of our way in the middle of whatever we're doing that day and stop at a tea shop and everyone picks up a drink. I just find that really kind of endearing and cute almost. Uh-oh, is it raining? Yes, it did actually end up raining. We had to take a little break, and I think now would be the best time to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, which is NordVPN. I have personally been using NordVPN for years and years, and I can't tell you how many benefits I've gotten from using their services. Just last month, during the Olympics, I was able to watch the Canadian feed right here from Taiwan, which I would never have been able to do without NordVPN. If you guys go to nordvpn.com/WesDavies, you guys are gonna get 4 months for free, plus the incredibly inexpensive NordVPN subscription service. That is just something that I highly recommend no matter what you do. But today, I wanna tell you about a benefit from using NordVPN that I never ever predicted. So right now, I'm actually creating a very secret and very amazing new project that I am so excited to share with you guys. And part of this project involves me creating my own website. But as I was kind of creating my website on this e-commerce platform, I was actually running into a lot of roadblocks. And I noticed that a lot of the features that I would really need to find success to build my business were not available in Taiwan. If I was in Canada, it would be totally fine. They totally support that. And then I had a sudden realization. What if I just turn on NordVPN and flip my IP address to Canada? And suddenly all those options that I needed, that I was looking for, were suddenly available to me. It was like magic. It's just one of those things that I didn't quite realize how NordVPN would be so useful in my life in developing this new business that I can't wait to tell you about. It's really inexpensive per month, like less than the price of a Starbucks coffee. 30-day money-back guarantee. nordvpn.com/WesDavies. It has honestly changed my life. It really saved me, and I can't wait to share my secret project with you. Stay tuned for that, but I couldn't have done it without NordVPN. So go check out all the links below, and thank you. Let's get back to the video. And another thing to do with shops, which I just kind of clued into the other day, is when you're walking down the sidewalk, almost anywhere in Taiwan, you will often see these stores that have a huge amount of their inventory just sitting outside on the sidewalk, outside the door, even around the corner from their shops. Like for example, the Cosmeds, they will usually have toiletries and toilet paper and all kinds of things just sitting outside the shop. I think that speaks to how safe and how much of a low crime rate Taiwan has, because in the West, let me tell you, people are friendly in Canada and the US for the most part, but if you leave products outside your store, they will be gone in a matter of hours. I mean, people will just take it. They will just take it and go. So I can't believe that in Taiwan, people are so trustworthy that you can just leave everything outside your store, so easy for someone to walk by and take, and nobody takes it. I find that really incredible. And my last point today before I let you guys go is one thing I have noticed over my years here in Taiwan is that Taiwanese are pyromaniacs. And if you don't know that word, now would be a good time to learn it. A pyromaniac is someone who is obsessed with lighting things on fire. My parents told me that when I was a kid, all I wanted to do is light things on fire. So it's funny that I ended up in a country that seems to enjoy doing the same thing. During my time in Taiwan, I have seen entire ornate, beautiful wooden boats get set on fire. I've been shot at with fireworks. I've seen them burn entire paper houses after they've launched them into the ocean. And of course, almost every single day you see some business somewhere in the city with literally a bonfire in front of their business, and they're throwing yellow paper money, among other things, into this barrel of fire, literally right on the city street. If anybody saw you doing that in Canada, they would call the police, they would call the fire department, they would give you a huge fine. It would just be completely unacceptable in the West to have a lit fire on the street in front of your business, on the sidewalk where people are walking. And I realized that in Taiwan, this is a cultural thing, especially this month is August, Ghost Month in Taiwan. And one thing I do find interesting is the mindset behind these traditions, which is that after people become deceased, especially your ancestors, people believe that those spirits are actually still wandering around the physical world. So in order to give those spirits the best life that they possibly can, they will want to give them, of course, houses and money and boats and supplies. So they believe that if you burn these special supplies, they will in turn be given to their deceased ancestors. I just find that so culturally fascinating. And not only for your ancestors, but also for potentially unfriendly ghosts that may be walking around, wandering around the physical world. You will maybe give them a little bit of money so that they don't come after you. Also, has anybody else noticed this? Literally within the last 2 weeks, almost everybody on their scooter has a little stuffed animal. It looks like a capybara or something from Australia. Please tell me what this is, because I have no idea why, and it's only started very recently. Alright everybody, that is the video, and I really love discussing these topics. As a foreigner living in Taiwan, these are just things that we love diving into, and trust me, when I hang out with my foreigner friends, this is like half of what we talk about. Just the little nuances and unique special things that we experience in our day-to-day lives living in Taiwan. So let me know down in the comments your opinions, or if you have some answers to some of these questions that I've asked today. I would love to read them. With that being said, make sure you check out all the links down below and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. I'm trying to build this channel. I'm trying to build my secret project. So there's a lot of big things, exciting things in the work, and I'm so happy to have all of you guys involved and on board. So thank you. My name is Wes Davies, and we'll see you in the next one. As always, like this video, and I will see you later. Bye bye.